Good morning, everybody. We've now finished the first two modules, which Skills Review 1 and Skills Review 2, and moving on to the third module, which is called Practice Test 1. Now, there are three to go if you're going through the 2013 version of the accreditation test, and they're Practice Test 1, Practice Test 2, and Practice Test 3. Now, it's really important to understand that the format of the questions will change completely with these practice tests. And the format is exactly the same as the one that you will see in the official accreditation exam, so it's important that you understand it and get used to it. There's a lot more scrolling up and down, and let me point out a few differences to you. I'm on the first question. I've just opened the exam up. Okay, I have the slideshow here, but underneath there's no light bulb on the side, there's no save button on the side. They're replaced with these restore, reset, save or grade project options on the bottom. And what I have to do to reach the question is scroll down. So there's a lot of scrolling to do. So as I scroll down, what will happen will be I'll see in large type the name of a slide, taking your company green. Now, it's really important that you see that the name of the slide you're supposed to be working on, and you go to it before you start performing the tasks. And you keep on that slide until it tells you to go to some other slide instead. One of the biggest problems people have with this test series of modules is that they ask you to insert quite a few slides, and people may insert them in the wrong place or forget to insert them at all, and that has a totally knock-on effect. It can knock you out for 5 to 10 questions, and people a lot of time either get 100% in this or might get 30 or 20% in this because they made a few important errors which spun on to many more mistakes afterwards. Okay, well, let's try the first question. We've got to go to taking your company green, and that is the title slide that I'm actually on at the moment. So I scroll down a bit more, I can see there's the question. Now, to see if that's the full question or task, I might have to scroll down a little bit more, but make sure you do get used to scrolling up and down to check if you've completed the whole question. Now, first thing to notice is because I'm in training mode, there is a little light bulb right for each question, but the light bulb is not on the side, it's just in the middle of the at the beginning of the question here. And it says if you hit the light bulb, then nothing seems to happen, but when you scroll down a small bit more, the instructions for answering the task or doing the task appear underneath the actual task itself. So don't forget that you can still get help in training mode. You hit the light bulb option just at the beginning of the question, and it will give you the instructions just below the question in blue as usual. Now I'll turn the questions off to see with great confidence, and hopefully I'll get a few of them right. Now, as you scroll along too and go to get stuck into these tasks, I'm sure you're starting to feel a little bit familiar or a certain familiarity with some of the questions, and that we're going back to the same places quite a lot. So if you are feeling this, that's a good sign. If you're not, we'll start feeling it fairly soon, please. Now, it says change the size of the slides in this presentation to ledger paper 11 by 17 inches, right, and ensure fit. Now, if you can all recall, right, in the two skill review tests, we were asked to change the slides to custom size, and we found that in the design tab. So we hit the design tab here, we go over to the right hand side of the design toolbar and click on slide size. We're making a custom slide size, so we click on custom slide size. Now, one difference here is that we're not told the exact width and the exact height. Instead, we're told to make it ledger paper 11 by 17. So right now the slide size for widescreen, and if I hit the small little drop down, I'll see the third one down is indeed a ledger paper 11 by 17 inches. Now, I'm not asked to change any of the orientations, so I click OK now, and I also ensure fit. Again, you can see the change, the slides narrowed a bit, but it isn't that huge a change, but it definitely has narrowed. Now, very, very advisable to tick the box which is just above on the left hand side after completing each question. So question 1 is done. I tick the box, and you can see over here that the summary of the questions on this side, number 1 is done, so it goes blue. Down I go to number 2. So scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Now, this one here is one I need to pause and talk to you about. Slide masters, what they are and what they're used for. Now, if you recall, when you want to insert a new slide, and I'll go back to my home toolbar to show you that this is not part of the question, it's just talking to you about slide masters. If you look at the options for new slide, you can see there are a load of different layouts you can choose from. They're all blank, but different layouts contain different content boxes, like picture boxes or text boxes or whatever, and you choose the one that you want. Now, if you were going to use, imagine one of the title only layout for about 10 slides, and you wanted to customize the layout of each slide to be exactly the same with the same font on all of them, right? You can do that by going to your slide master. So your slide master allows you to customize the layout of any type of slide you're using, the slide master, right? So if I want to go to the slide master, what I have to do is I've got to change my view, and I go across to view, and when I click on view, I see all the different views on the left hand side of the toolbar, and the slide master one we haven't been to before, that's the one you go to now. Now what's quite strange here is that, number one, your normal slide seems to have disappeared. The slide master is really only for customizing slides. It isn't for typing in text and individual slides at all. So by customizing, I mean if you wanted to put a picture in each of your slides, the same picture, by putting the picture in the slide master, it automatically appears in any slides in the slideshow and any new ones that you insert later on. Now, why are there so many slide masters? I said to you earlier on that for each different slide layout, there is a slide master for you to customize, and each one has a different title. Now, it says we're to go to slide master 1. Now, be careful, you must identify which slide master you're going to use. And slide master 1 is arrived at by scrolling up, and it's the very first slide master that you see. Now, slide master 1 is special in that whatever you do in the slide master 1 will affect the first 4 or is it 5 or 4 slides in your slideshow will be customized in the exact same way that you customize the slide master number 1. I think it's also called, if I point at it, the WISP slide master, and you can see it's used by slides 1 to 4. Alright, it's for customizing slides 1 to 4. Okay, enough of the explanation. What I will say about this question is, you might understand what the slide master is and how to get in and get out of it, but the question is huge, and it might be well worth having a go at it. And in the exam, if you're pushed for time, don't maybe leave this one and carry on. It's one that stands alone and doesn't actually affect any more questions, but do try it. Now, the first part of the question says, display the current date on all slides except the title slide. So, if you remember right, the date and time, etc. are in the header and footer. So we insert header and footer, which is here, and then we're asked to display the current date and time, and just on all slides except the slide master. So check the checkbox in front of the title, except the title slide. Check the checkbox in front of don't show on the title slide. Nothing else needs to be checked. There's no mention of slide numbers or footers or messages or anything. And we apply this change to all of the slides. So you'll see later on when we go back to our normal slides the date and time at the bottom of the slide. Okay, you think you're done, but no. You scroll down and it says we have to change the default text on all existing and future slides on slide master 1. So we're still on slide master 1 here. Now it says we're to make the master title style Erase Demi ITC, which is a font type and size 36. So when you put in the title of the slide, you want it to be Erase Demi ITC 36. So what you do is you highlight the text that's there in the master slide, which does not reflect what you've typed in the normal slides, but represents it. And you go to your fonts and you find one called Erase Demi ITC, which is down in the E's. There are a load of fonts which occupy loads of space in your computer, and there it is there, Erase Demi ITC, with a size of 36. Now I'm using this little mini toolbar here because when I highlight something that pops up. If you click somewhere else it goes away, but you can find the exact same commands over here in the home toolbar, Erase Demi ITC. Don't get worried about that. So, am I done yet? I've got to scroll down to find out. No, the first level master text style, Black Century Gothic 24. Now you can see here in the second text box, these are like bulleted points, and they're different levels of importance. Right, the first level is the one closest to the side, second, third, fourth, fifth, to represent different levels it moves in. So I'm asked to customize the first level. So I highlight the representative text here, and again I find Erase Black Century Gothic Body. Now, Century Gothic, there are two, there's heading and body. Make sure you choose the body one. Black, it's got to be 24 in size, which grand is chosen for us automatically there. And the font colors here, and make sure you choose black, jet black. Alright, am I finished? No, I am not. Because the second level has got to be Black Century Gothic Body 22. So again, the second level is this. Highlight that. Black Century Gothic Body, just make sure it's the body. And 22 is, I'd have to type it in, so I click into 21.3 and just type in 22. Alright, and that's done as well. Now, am I finished? No, because I scroll down, and this you've got to be careful of. Change all existing and future title slides. Now this is a different slide master, and you've got to make sure you understand which one it is. The title slide master is the second one here. So you put your mouse on top, which you can see title slide layout, right, which is exactly where we have to go. Now, here it says the title, Black Erase Demi ITC 54. I can see the end of the question, great. So this is the text representing the title. Highlight that, Black Erase Demi, which is pretty cool, I have that there. And it's got to be 54 in size, so again, just click on what's there, the 71.9, and type in 54 from the keyboard, and you get that. Now I'm not sure I choose the color black. It looks black, but to be sure, make sure you choose black anyway. And the subtitle is this text down here in the subtitle text box. I highlight that, Black Century Gothic 18. So again, it is Century Gothic, which is okay for me. Body and 18. So again, the size 18. Now, if I scroll down, I see that I'm finished the question because it's asking me to go to slide number 2. Now I can go back up and tick the box off that absolute mammoth question, which you got it right, well done, but you won't know until you get to the end of the slideshow. In this type of module, it does not tell you whether you get them right as you do a question. It only tells you at the end, even though it's in practice mode. Right, so we need to leave the slide master and we've got to go to slide number 2 in our normal slide presentation. So to leave the slide master, we go to our slide master tab and we say close master view. And that brings us back to our normal view. And you can see, if you remember how the titles looked originally, how all the titles on each of the slides have changed, and they're all a standard name. That's the result of us customizing the title in the slide master. Okay. Now we're to go to slide number 2, and what goodies await us now? Scrolling down. After the title slide, we're going to insert a slide from outline. So right now, question 3 is to put an actual new slide in, and it's got to go in after the title slide. So what I need to do is, the title slide is the very first one, right? and I've got to insert a slide from outline. So I go to new slide, slide from outline, which as you recall means we're going to take the text from some other document and put this automatically into the new slide. So slide from outline, and the file we're looking for is in the Geometrics templates folder, which if you don't doesn't pop up automatically, you'll always get it in recent places. And there's the file there, Why You Go Green. And if I double click that, you can see a new slide jumps in between slides 1 and 2. Now there it is there, and it's called Why You Go Green. That's our new slide number 2. Alright, now that's done. Number 3. So I scroll down, and number 4 does not ask me to change anything. I'm still on slide 2. But remember, slide 2 is now the new slide just inserted. So it says on slide 2, change the bullets in the list to star bullets. So again, you can see there's a pile of bullets in this text box here. I highlight them all, and the bullets are up here on the home toolbar. I click there, and I see star bullets. So star bullets, again, after a really complex question, you can see there's a couple of really quick ones which you could have gone straight on to if you want to. You can't skip ones which you have to insert the slide. You must do those, otherwise you're going to get the whole thing wrong. You could have skipped the slide master if you want to. Now, next one says go to slide number 3. So number 3 is this one here. Alright, now what am I supposed to do on it? Change the subheading of the right text box, the right subheading, and type in how much it saves. Okay, remember that's the main heading there, and these are 2 subheadings. And this one really has no text in it at all, and it's asking us to type in how much it saves. So click in the box, right? What was there deletes automatically, and be cognizant of the capital letters. So it's how much it saves. You don't put in the inverted commas, but you do put in the capitals. Now, even though you're not asked to do it, you widen the text box by grabbing the middle handle on the left hand side and drag it out a bit to the left so the words fit on the one line. So that's it there. So am I finished? The only way of knowing it is to scroll down. No, we're not. Oh, we are. Since number 5 is done. And I got number 6 is on the same slide because I'm not told between the questions to go anywhere else. So number 6, decrease the indentation of a bulleted list is what we're trying to do. In the left content box, decrease the list level to a level with font size 20. Now the left content box is this one, and they're full of bullet points. Now if you note, the bullet points are quite far in from the side of the text box. And what we want to do is bring them closer, give them more importance, right, by bringing them closer to the side of the text box. And the way you do it is you highlight the bullets. Remember, highlight them first of all. On the home toolbar in the paragraph section, there's increase list level, here's decrease list level. And when I click decrease list level, a couple of things happen. Watch. Right, to make it more important, they've all gone over to the left hand side of the text box, and they've all gone up by a point. The size of each letter has gone up by a point. So it's Century Gothic 20. So by decreasing to this level, the font size automatically changed to 20. I didn't have to do anything there, but you would check up here to make sure it's 20 as you're asked to do. That's 6 done. Now number 7, again still on the same slide because we are not told to go anywhere else. Now number 7 from experience is a hugely long question. Not difficult, but again it might be one you could think about leaving in the heat of the exam because it takes ages. If any little thing against all this geometrics is that some of the questions are much longer than others and they all carry the same weight in terms of marks and things. Anyway, let's do 7 and you make up your mind. Have a go at it anyway, but in the test if you're under pressure, leave it till the end and do it at the end or something like that. Now, in the right content box, which is here, right, and these are all little shortcuts into creating charts and tables and pictures, inserting videos, whatever. And one of those, this one here, is to insert a chart, right? So we click on insert a chart, and we're looking for a clustered column chart, which is this one here. So we click on it, and I think we've got to click OK. Now we need then to click OK to undock the window, our question window here to the top, so we can click OK. So if I click here and undock it to the top, right, I can click, or I've undocked it in the middle anyway, I click OK, and then I can dock it back to the bottom again. Right, so no, it's just, if you sometimes you're asked to click something, you can't because the questions window is open and it's covering what you click. Just use the undock tool here, down here, to undock it up or undock it in the middle and move it where you want to. Now, remember that when you are asked to insert a chart, you'll always get an Excel spreadsheet with the data that the chart represents. And as I change this data here, the chart automatically adjusts. Now, you see it's a lot of stuff that needs labeling. There's no labels there at all. Series 1 and Series 2 and Category 1, Category 2 are the generic names. We need to customize them. So it says, Series 1, change it to how much it costs. Again, be wary of the capital letters. So I click on Series 1 and type in capital H, how much it costs. Okay. Now you'll note it's flowed over into the next cell. Don't worry about that for the moment. Let's put in the different series names and I'll show you how to fix that in a minute. So Series 2 has got to be how much you save. So HOWMUCHYOUSAVE. Okay. Now, to widen the columns so you can see how much it costs and how much you save, just click anywhere in a blank space on the Excel document and put your mouse, I want to widen column B. So put your mouse right between or on the border of column B and C and just double click your mouse. If I want to widen column C as well, put your mouse on the border of C and D. You can see your cursor changes to a little black line with 2 arrows sticking out of it. Double click your mouse, alright? And that means I can see the names of the columns because the columns have widened to let them be seen. Now, scrolling down, nothing, Series 3 is going to be out. There's nothing for Series 3, so what I'm going to do is exclude Series 3. You remember, the area, the selected area is the area inside the blue rectangle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the bottom right of the selected area and drag it in one, which excludes Series 3. And I hope you noted the change in the chart just behind me there on the right as I excluded Series 3. Now I'm going to be asked to customize the categories now and put in numbers. You can see this is a really long question, but let's do it. Okay, category 1, CFL light bulb, and the numbers are 6 and 6. So I go to here, I type in CFL light bulb, right? Made a mistake there with a space, made a mistake there with no capital B. I think that's the way it is, light bulb, yeah. And then the numbers are here. I've got to go to, here and type in 6, and here and type in 6 as well. Alright, again you can see I'm going to have to widen column A so that we can see CFL light bulb. So if I put my mouse right up between A and B and double click it, it widens. Category 2 is going to be recycled paper. So this is how we save the planet, if it's still savable. YCL recycled paper. Right, and then the numbers there are 5 and 3. Now as I put in the numbers, look how the actual chart changes automatically. Little bars go up and down. Number 3 is turn off computers. This is how we save energy, guys. Now, something in my house we try to do but are not very good at. We leave the computers, for example, in idle, and that they should be turned off completely. Widen the column so I can see it, and the numbers there are 1 and 1, so I'm not really saving much, or I'm not contributing much by doing that, so I don't feel too guilty. Now, am I finished? No, I'm not. Gosh, not only do I have to type in something for category 4, I also have to include new ones as well. Goodness. Right, anyway, this one is recycle old electronics. So here I click on category 4, RECYCLE, and the numbers are 2 and 4. I just use the tab key now and get fed up with the mouse, so I just tab over to the 2 columns to type in the numbers. Old electronics is still, I'm going to widen the column at the end after typing in everything, because it seems each one's getting wider than the previous one, so I'm having to widen it every single time. Turn down thermostat on the heater. Thermostat. Alternatively, much harder ones to get the kids outside. Well, it's harder for us anyway. And that is 2 and 4. Okay. Then we go down further, and I think there's one more to go, if not even 2 more to go. Yeah. Move to mobile. I again move to mobile home only in summer. No, I think move to mobile means move to a mobile phone perhaps, or something. I'm not quite too sure, but let's just put in the numbers and keep on moving. This is a really long question. Now I think, just think about it now, next 2 questions are based on this chart, so perhaps I was wrong in saying you should just skip it. And there's one more to do, which is encourage carpooling. Now, encourage carpooling, I think, is a great idea, which people don't seem to want to do at all, or maybe do, but so many cars with one person in them, sorry. Carpooling. Or walk, which I do. So encourage carpooling, and then the numbers there are 1 and 3. So tab 1, tab 3. Now, I'm going to have to widen this column up here so I can see all my great savers. You can see the selected area for the chart automatically includes the new ones I've put in down here. They're all inside the blue selected area. I can see my chart is busier with all the names over here as I type them in, and how much it costs and how much you save. Everything is there. Now, that's the way you do it. If I've put in a misspelling or something, I can see up here, for example, I've left out a capital S and save. That might cost me, I don't know, I'm not going to bother doing it, fixing it. Just check as you go along. Okay, now going back down here, I've done all I'm asked to do, I think, but I've got to scroll down to be sure, and that's number 7 done. And number 7 is a monster, but I have to do it. I have to try anyway. 8. Now, this is where we have to work on the chart we've made. And this is where, again, if you got the chart wrong, you might be getting a few more questions wrong as well. Now, we don't need to customize the data, so we can close the Excel sheet down so we can see the chart clearly. Now, I want to customize the actual chart, apply a style to the chart. So I click on the chart. Mouse is not doing too well either. Right. The chart styles are in the design toolbar, and there's chart style 8, which is the black one there. Okay, so chart style 8. Down I go, and that's number 8 done. There's a lot of scrolling up in it because you're not sure where you finished your question. You've got to scroll back up to tick the box, scroll back down again. Anyway, a bit more time consuming. Make sure you've got a good mouse. Number 9, apply a quick layout to the chart and change the chart title to cost stroke savings. Right, I'm going to tick the box first, it might help. The quick layouts are on the same design toolbar on the left hand side. Here they are. and they're labelled 1 to 8, or I think it's 1 to 8 or 1 to something, 1 to whatever, and they're in order. So layout number 1 is that one, and there's a small little change to the actual chart. Now it wants us to put a chart title in, which is not in at the moment. To type in the words, delete the words there, I'll zoom in so I can do it better. I'm going to put in the words cost savings. So I delete that, I go back to the end and delete it, and I type in COST /SAVINGS, cost savings. I'll zoom back out, I'm zooming in and out here so I can see it better, right? And that's number 9 done. Number 10, go to slide number 4. Now, slide number 4 is this one. Is this one here? Yeah. Now, it says apply, add a shape, size it, and apply a style. That's the task. Now, I'm going to do it, so I'm going to tick the box. Now, specifically, below the list on the left side of the slide, this list here, there's a space. And it wants us to put in a rounded rectangular call out. Right, now it's a shape, and it's a call out is almost like a speech bubble in that you can type into them. Right, so to get the shapes, we go insert, shapes are here, and the call outs are right down the end, and the second one in is the rounded rectangular call out. I click on that, and then I bring my mouse up, which if you notice changes to two little black crosshairs, and I'm asked to draw the call out here. So I click and I hold the click down and drag it diagonally to roughly get a call out like that. Now it's the size is specified. Don't try and make it correct at the start, because you can see you can customize the size over here once you've drawn it. The height's got to be 3.97. That's the height there, so I've made mine a bit big, but by typing in 3.97 I make it smaller, and the width 7.73. So I'm going to delete that and type in 7.73. Alright, so that's my call out. Now, any more to do? Yeah, I'm going to make the style Intense Effect Olive Green Accent 4. So select the call out again, Format Tool, Shape Styles. Now, Intense Effect Olive Green is Intense Effect is down here somewhere. There it is. Intense Effect Olive Green Accent 4. This one. Right. I click on it, and that's the next little bit done. And then I've got to type into the actual call out the words "Going green helps everyone." So just with the call out selected, go to your keyboard and start typing. Going green helps everyone. And the exclamation mark as well. Right, so that's it there. Now I think that's that one done. Hopefully. And then it hasn't asked me to change slides again. Number 11. Add an image and apply a style and title. Alright. Now, in the right content box, which is here, these are content boxes, remember, I want to put in an image or a picture called Energy Star. Now the shortcut for putting in a picture is this one, Insert Pictures. So click on that. You know where you're going to find it, in your Geometrics Templates folder, Recent Places, Geometrics Templates, and it's called Energy Star. And the picture goes in. Now, style, reflected, perspective, right. So picture styles are here, and there are quite a few of them. Now if I can remember where it is, reflected, perspective, right. That's left, and that's right down here. Reflected, perspective, right. I click on that one. Am I finished? I scroll down and then put a title, Energy Star. Now, I always thought that you'd put a text box up here and put Energy Star on top of it. No, but you're titling the picture itself, right? So what you have to do is right click on the picture, go down to format the picture down the bottom. A little format window opens here. Now you go to the size and properties here, and you go to alt text here, and your title you put in, it's supposed to be Energy Star. That's a really hard one, and I didn't know that at all until I went to the light bulb on various occasions. But that's how you put a title on a picture. You format it, and then you go to alt text and type in the title there. Alright, so we can close that now. You should always close your side windows down to keep a full view of your slide. Now, I think I ticked the box, so I didn't, for number 11. So number 11 is done. On to 12. Now, slide number 5. So I scroll down, look for 5, and it's here. Now, let's see what it says. Okay, now be very careful here, because we're actually going to insert a new slide, right? And we're going to insert a slide, I think it is after number 4, to make it slide number 5. Now the way we're going to do it is we are going to reuse a slide from some other slideshow, right, and make that our new slide number 5, which automatically will make our last slide number 6. So I'm on slide 4. I'm putting a new slide in between 4 and 5, right? So I go up to my home toolbar, new slide, reuse slides, and it asks where is the slideshow that you want to get the slide from. So I browse to find it. It's in a file I've saved already. Where would I find it? The Geometrics Templates folder here. And the slideshow is called Going Green, this one here. Now when you open up the slideshow, there are 3 slides on it. Which one do you want to reuse? I want the one which says when to integrate. So if I click on that, that goes in as my slide number 5, which makes this one slide number 6. So be very careful of that. Right? Now, what I have to do now is I've got to not just insert a slide, but on the new slide I put in, reslide the table to 9.5. Now this is a bit sneaky, because all of the time up to now we've dealt in centimeters. But now it's asking us to put in a width for this table of 9.5 inches. These 2 little inverted commas here are for inches, if you can remember. The older ones among you anyway. Now, how do you do that? Well, if you go up to the design tool, wrong one, layout tool, the slide size is here. Now I'm asked to change the width to 9.5. So what do I do? If you don't know what 9.5 inches is in centimeters, let the machine work it out for you. And the way you do it is this, watch. You delete what's there and just type in 9.5, then put a space in, and then put IN in for inches. 9.5 inches. And when you press the enter key, it converts that to 24.13 centimeters for you. So don't worry about that. Just make sure you understand whether it's inches or centimeters you're talking about. So number 12 is done. I think we're on track here, guys. Add a new row and apply a style. Add data and apply a style. So we're going to add a new row to the table. So we're going to click on the table, and we're going to add a new row, I think, below. Right? Now where does it say below is a good question. Add a row. Well, add a row, I would assume means on the bottom. It would say inserted above, because this first row here is the titles, or the titles. So you wouldn't add a row above that, you put the row into the bottom. So you select the text box, go to design mode, and you go insert below. And I think I've done it twice because I couldn't see it. Wait, let me see now. Yeah, I've got a new row in here, right? And it asks me to put in Under immediately, the title immediately put in save electricity, so SAVE space ELECTRICITY. And under near future, put in hybrid car. HYBRID space CAR. Okay. Now nothing to put in for future or never, but I'm asked to change finally the table style, which is to be medium style 2 accent 5. Now I think you'll find the table styles here. The medium ones are down here. So you look at them, just medium style 1 accent 1, so I got to go down a bit. I'm somewhere down here, I'd say. Medium style 2 accent 5, so it's 2 accent 1, accent 5 is probably that one there, yeah. So there's always a pattern, you've got to work out the pattern. So it's medium style 2 accent 5. I'm sorry. Now, that's that one done. Hopefully, I'll go back and tick my box greatly and move on. Slide 6. Alright. Before the final impact slide, that's slide 6 is your final impact slide. So before this slide, I want to insert another slide. So again, I'm still on 5, and I've got to insert a new slide from outline. So see, there's 3 new slides appearing, and it's going to be the text I'm going to get from the philosophy file. So, new slide, slide from outline, brings me to my geometrics templates folder, and there's the philosophy file there. Just click on it, and it automatically puts in the new slide there, right before the last slide. So 14 is done. Now 15. Change the slide layout. Now again, it did not ask me to change the slides, just change the layout on the slide to a layout called Content with Caption. And it says slide 6 just to be sure, which is what I'm on. So the slide layouts are on the home toolbar. There they are there. And even though there's actually there's data on the slide, you can change the layout whenever you want to. So it's going to be Content with Caption, this one. So what it does, it puts the content, the text, in one text box over here, and leaves the other side to put in some word art or pictures or whatever. Okay, now scrolling down, am I finished? I'm going to tick it anyway. So down I go. That's that one done. 16, same slide again, insert a video. So on this, in this content box over here, the insert video shortcut is here. Insert a video. Again, we can get a video from YouTube if we wanted to, but I think if we're looking at the question here, the video we've got to put in is called Green and an MP4. So it will be, of course, in the Geometrics Templates folder. So browse for it. And there's the folder Geometrics Templates, and there's the only file, which is a video called Green. So I double click in it, and in it goes. I'm just going to close down this little pane over here because there's no need for it anymore at all. Alright, that's 16 done. Now you can see there are a couple of real brutes of questions, but after that it does get quite simple. Now take the video and format it. To start automatically, style, center, shadow, rectangle, and loop until stopped. So there's 2 changes to make in the playback. The first is start automatically and loop until stopped. So I go up to playback and I choose to start, not on click, but start automatically, and check the checkbox loop until stopped. Alright, now I also need to change the style of the video to center, shadow, rectangle. So go to format, video styles are here, and I think this one's going to kill me. No, I'm lucky. Center, shadow, rectangle is this one. Okay, now what difference it make, I don't know, but the question can be ticked. Alright, now scroll down, slide number 7. Right, number 7 is our very last slide, which is this one here, the final impact slide. And by now, if you find this slide is side 4 or 5 or something instead, you know you've gone wrong somewhere. You might try, if you had to, so you can pick up the slide and drag it up and down to move it where you want to reorder them. That might get you out of it, but if you've done it right, that is not necessary. So slide 7 is the final impact slide, right? The Smart Art, remember this was originally bullet points, and these are the 2 bullet points it came from, and we want to change the Smart Art style to Colored Fill Accent 4. So I think if I select my Smart Art, and the styles are here, Accent 4, Colored Fill Accent 4 is that one. Okay, and then I go see what else I've got to do. Oh yeah, I've got to actually add another bullet point to the Smart Art. So what I do is, remember, if I want to see what the Smart Art looked like originally, there's a small little arrow on the side of the Smart Art here, and that shows you the original bullet points. And if I want to add a bullet point called A Better World, I put my mouse just after the end, at the end of the second bullet point, press enter, and you can see a new little circle appeared on the Smart Art on the right, and I type in A Better World, and that should appear in the actual circle. A Better World. There you go. Now, you can leave that here if you want to, or I'll close it down for a second. Now, the size should be 15.05 centimeters of the Smart Art. So if I go over here, the height, which I think is this one, is supposed to be 15.05. I'm just a little bit confused, but here, let's see if I get this right. Okay, hopefully I have. I'm not sure I have. No, I sort of wouldn't do that. Just check. Perhaps it's talking about the height of the whole Smart Art as opposed to the last circle I put in. I'll try anyway. So 15.05. Yeah, that's correct. Alright, I had this part of the Smart Art selected, so I just made that circle bigger. That was a mistake. So I just deselect. I had to select it like that. No, I want to select the whole Smart Art by selecting just the outside rectangle. Alright? And if you do make a mistake, I just undid my mistake and went and tried again. Nobody's perfect. So 18 is done. I think I've got one more thing to do. Oh, I do. 2 more things to do. The width has got to be 8.89 or 22.58. So in I go in here. 22.58. That's the width. So it's much bigger. And the style, right, the style, Smart Art Styles, Bird's Eye Scene. Great name. Now I know Bird's Eye Scene is the last one because I checked earlier on. There it is there. Bird's Eye Scene, right? Now, I think that's done. So we go on to number 19. Now, final steps. Apply a transition to all slides. Now, final steps doesn't mean look for a slide called final steps. It means the last steps. And the great news I was keeping from you, everybody, is there are only 24 tasks in this. So you're thinking you've got 20 more to go. No. There's only 24 tasks altogether. So apply a transition called wind to all the slides. Pretty simple. Transitions are here. Wind is not to be seen there, so I expand all the transitions, and wind is, don't tell me I can't see it. Oh goodness. Cut, fade, push, right, reveal, wind and cover, fall over, drape, wind is there, yeah. Anyway, the wind is there, and remember, apply it to, wow, that's pretty cool. Apply it to all of the slides. So 19 is done. Scrolling down. Apply an entry animation to slide content. Right, so on slide 7, this one here, apply an animation, an entry animation. It enters, when it enters the slide or appears on the slide, we're going to get one called float in. Right? So I select the text box with the title text box, go to animations and look for float in. Right? Didn't ask me to adjust any timings at all, so I'm pretty cool on that. Now the smart art, right, this box here with the smart art in it, it wants me to apply the animation called shape, which is here, right? But it also wants me to have it start after previous, right? So start not on click but after previous, and a delay of 1 second. So up that by 4 clicks to 1 second. Now, on slide 4, the left content and the callout. So this is asking us to move around and put different animations on different objects. So slide 4, the left content box and the callout. So it wants us to put fade on this content box and on the callout. So what I'll do is I'll do them separately with the same animation. Maybe you can do it together, but I click on the content box, I look for an animation called fade, which is here. Right, I click on the callout, I go for the same animation fade, and reorder so the callout goes first. I simply make sure I'm on the callout and I move it earlier. And moving earlier means make sure the number in front of the callout is number 1, which is right. That means it will be the first, it will go first before each of the bullet points above it. Okay, I think that's done now. So a bit of animation, a bit of moving around. But again, read the questions carefully and you can't really go wrong. But there's a lot of reading and a lot of scrolling. Right, 21. Now this one here is a bit awkward to find, but again there's a key word here. Set options for this presentation. Now when you see the word options or properties, you know you go into the backstage. So file and options are here. Now I'm looking for something called print true type fonts as graphics, which I haven't a clue what it means, but I don't see it anywhere here, no print options, but there are advanced options, and that means you see every possible option there is. And if I scroll down, I suddenly see some print options here, and a checkbox unchecked in front of print true type fonts as graphics. So I check that, and I have to click OK. Now, unfortunately, to click OK now, I have to undock my question area. I'll put it at the top this time. Click OK. Now, I like my question area on the bottom, so I'll dock it back to the bottom again. And I think that's number 21 done. Okay. 22, or no, same question. Configure presentation printing color to all slides. Set the print settings to grayscale. Right, now I think I was too quick, guys, in leaving the properties there. So if I go back to file, the options, sorry, and I go into advanced, and I go down to my print options again down here. There they are. Is it here? Oh, set print settings to grayscale. There, stick. So use the following print settings. Change the color to grayscale. And that's it. So the print will actually always be printed out in grayscale. Sorry, I've got to undock it again to click OK again to put in the new change. So I think that's it for sure now. So undock to the bottom. And I can move on, hopefully. So that's number 21 done. So 20, only one more to go. Oh no, there are two more. There's two more to go. So if I go to 21 is done, I scroll down too quickly, sorry. 22 is set slideshow options for this presentation to advanced slides automatically. and presented by a speaker and loop continuously until escape. So, slideshow. Set up the slideshow. Now, 3 things to do. Advance slides manually. That radio button there. Presented by the speaker, full screen, this radio button here. And loop continuously until escape, that checkbox there. So 2 radio buttons in the checkbox. I click OK, and I put in my little tick in the box. I just tick the box as you go along. I'm fed up going up and down. Anyway, now enable the grid lines in this presentation is the very last thing to do, and that one is simple. It's in the view, and there's grid lines. Alright, and that one is done, 23, and then I am finished. So hopefully you are too. You grade the project, and I click OK and see how many I got wrong. This part you shouldn't see probably, but anyway, I think I got most of them okay. Yeah, 34 out of 34. What a good day this is today. Okay, that's it, fine. So let's say you get 34 out of 34, guys, even with my instructions, and do it without me or the light bulb. Thanks for your time, and I'll do the next one